Hey, it's Levac and guys. Happy NFL Thursday. It's not real football, if you ask Aaron Rodgers, but it is football. We're excited about it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to have some fun, as always. And Drogon is already chiming in. I don't know if you could hear him, but he is already chiming in, dude. It's something about as soon as I start talking to this computer, he's got to be involved. Like I'll be on a video call talking to like Jeff Fisher and all the people from the AF1, and all you hear is meow, meow. Everybody's like, "What the hell's going on?" I go, "He's rooting for the Cats." I don't know what you want me to like. It's a house divided. I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy around here. But yeah, so happy Thursday, everybody. I raised my Pepsi Zero to you, and let's get after it, Ghazi Bear. What are we talking about first?
Well, sometimes the sports signals, alignment, planets are in our favor. Sometimes they're not. When we finished recording our episode yesterday, all of a sudden my phone starts to lighten up and Red Sox are dirty cheaters. We didn't touch on it yesterday's show just because of timing. We get to lead it with today's show. Levac, I'm going to kind of let you take the lead on this. I see in our mass text with Boston Dan, who's a Red Sox fan, you and I, that's just what you wrote to him. Why are the Red Sox dirty cheaters?
I also wanted to see if he would admit it or defend them or get upset. And he got super upset, which tells me he knows it's true. The dirtiest franchise in the history of professional sports, the Boston Red Sox, are at it again. As you know, they cheated with the Apple Watches, sign stealing, all that stuff. They brought over Alex Cora, who's most famous for putting together the banging on trash cans, stealing signs scandal. They go on this historic 30-5 run, and everybody's like, "Wow, they turned it around. They figured it out. They got it right." And by got it right, they hired a kid from MIT to learn how to steal PitchCast. So they knew what pitches were coming. This is the belief. This is what entertainment purposes only, whatever, because I don't want to get sued yet. But it is interesting to me that this story came out about 5-6 days ago, and they haven't won since Friday. So I'm just saying, if you're stealing cookies from the cookie jar and then mom goes, "What are those crumbs?" and all of a sudden cookies stop disappearing from the cookie jar, it's because you knew you got caught, you stopped cheating. I love like the new internet like summary stuff, like these accusations are boundless and have no blah blah blah. Proof's in the pudding, baby. You were unbeatable. You were a machine. You looked like you knew what pitches were coming. You were putting them up against that filthy green monster of yours. And now that you can't do that because people are onto you, you can't hit the broadside of a barn. You can't beat anybody. You're losing in late innings. It's great. The Red Sox, dirty cheaters, yet again, dirty cheaters. Congratulations. As Ric Flair, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, or whatever the hell he used to say, be the man, beat the man, whatever. But I'll tell you right now, I know you're listening, Red Sox, because you probably hacked into something in here too. We're on to you. Filthy, dirty, rotten cheaters. And don't forget about that fake bloody sock. That was ketchup.
You alluded to the MIT discussion of what's going on. To add a little bit more details to that for those who might be confused about where this story is coming from, why haven't national outlets reported on this? It started as a discussion on Reddit. This is the world we live in 2026, that Reddit and X are where these stories are coming from. Now, a guy with a blue check mark, for those who don't know, blue check mark just mean the top tier of content creators on X. Now you can just buy a blue check mark for yourself. Ridiculous. No disrespect to Adam. No disrespect to Adam Narasi, who has a blue check mark, but he has less than 800 followers, and his bio writes, 31 years old, diehard White Sox and Broncos fans. Opinions are mine, but the values on my site aren't.
And
then he wrote that.
Yeah, go ahead. You can pay for the blue check mark is ridiculous and absurd. Like you shouldn't. It was bad enough you changed the name to X, but the blue check mark thing ruined everything. Just so we're clear. Sorry, go ahead.
He got 2 million views because a guy named James Fox wrote, "This Red Sox team is cheating Astro vibes. It's a total bunch of guys locked in and creative players, just relentless." And then Adam wrote, "I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I guarantee you they have some MIT grad working for them in a back room that cracked the code on intercepting the radio frequency of PitchCom and has access to the keys to decipher each pitch. So kind of what you're getting at. I legitimately don't remember a single Boston hitter chasing a breaking ball the whole series. I'm going to combine through StatCast data on, I can keep going. This guy just threw it out there and it caught heat on social media.
Well, caught heat because we're watching this historic turnaround. Like, it was historic. It was one of those ones where even I, as one of the chief Red Sox haters of the universe, was like, you know, dude, you can't fault these guys. They figured it out. This young talent that they've got came up at the right time and emerged with the few vets that they kept around. You know, they bring in Adley Rutschman towards the end. Actually, that was when it all kind of went south. But like, I was sitting here going, dude, whatever the secret sauce is, they've got it and they figured it out. Then this comes out. As soon as this comes out, and yes, it plays a little speculatively. It plays a little, you know, a little conspiracy theory-ish. It does. I get that. I understand it. But you know that not all conspiracy theories are wrong. You know, like the tooth fairy really does take your teeth. I don't know if it's the one that leaves the money, but it takes your teeth. Like, this is. The proof for me is just the fact that they can't win since this happened. Like, so all right. So one of three things is happening. Complete and total coincidence. That doesn't happen very often. Let's be honest. Coincidence don't happen very often, at least not to the level people like to believe it. Two is they're so fragile. Their psyche is so fragile that just hearing this made them go, oh no, man, nobody believes in us, and they fell apart. Or three is they're really cheating. And even if this isn't the way they're cheating, they are now concerned someone's going to catch the way they're cheating, and they backed down and they stopped cheating. And all of a sudden, they became human. And I tend to believe the third one, that somebody somewhere went, hey guys, can't give you this the PitchCom anymore. Can't do it because Billy Bob 29 with a blue check mark on Twitter, or I'm sorry, X, figured us out. So everybody, you gotta watch the ball yourself. Remember, red dot in the upper corner means it's gonna be a sinker. You know, it's too coincidental for me. And when you've got a history of being a dishonest and disgusting franchise, sometimes that's exactly what you are, is a dishonest and disgusting franchise.
I don't have enough information, Levac, to side with you.
Don't be a wimp. Don't be a wimp.
I don't.
Don't be a wimp. You're being a wimp.
The Astros, when they were cheating, it was, hey, why is that trash can getting so loud? Why is Jose Altuve not taking his shirt off? Those things were like, oh, how and the way in which they were cheating was eventually proven, and here's their system. Okay. Even if we want to go back to the Red Sox Apple Watch thing, like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. I don't have here's what they're doing. They're signaling it through Morse code to somebody's earpiece. I don't know the system. So just some guy yelling on Twitter that had a theory and it picked up steam, and now Yankee fans and other baseball fans complaining. I'm not willing to say it's that elaborate or potentially is even happening. I need more information.
Somewhere. It has to start. Oh, the Apple Watch thing started with an accusation. All the trash cans started with an accusation. Like, that's how it's Woodward and Bernstein. Somebody's got to sack up and tell the truth. And that's what's this guy's name on X? Who's our new hero?
Adam Nerossi.
Adam Nerossi is the one who told the truth. It was neuroses. That's all there is to it. Like, let it go, guys. Just, you know what? Celebratory shot of Rumples. That's what.
Oh man, go for some Rumples right now. It's good. It's good for you in the summer.
That's good. That's smooth.
I don't remember this guy being accused of cheating during his career, but he did give us one of the great sports nicknames of all time. We'll get to that in a few moments here, but that's Russell Westbrook, who posted a 3.5-minute video yesterday, quoted the video with the caption, "Sometimes you don't even know when you've already watched the end. You had to be there, and now it's over." Announcing his retirement after 18 seasons in the NBA, a former MVP of the league, averaged a triple-double. How about 9-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champion, 2-time All-Star game MVP, and Olympic gold medalist. Levac, I didn't mention NBA champion in that one. He had gotten close in his career before. It didn't happen. What do you think of when you think of Russell Westbrook and that nearly 20-year NBA career?
I think I have some of the most mixed emotions about Russell Westbrook of just about any player that I liked watching on the court. Like, he's a loudmouth. He's a volume shooter. Like, he's the things that, like, I don't like about basketball, but he's such a competitor. And his biggest moments were in the biggest moments, it felt like. So if it were up to me, first ballot. That's what I say about Russell Westbrook. First ballot. And the fact that he's walking away now when he could chase a ring. You know, he could go do what dudes do. And still probably contribute, you know, I mean, contribute the way that he would like to, definitely not, but he could still contribute to a champion. And he's walking away. I held that in high esteem. He put the entertainment and the sports entertainment part of the NBA for a very long time. So fan of Russell Westbrook. Glad he's walking away now. Probably should have been 2 years ago, but I'm glad he's doing it now before it becomes like a really embarrassing, weird thing.
The level of this obviously different from pro, college, high school, youth sports, anything else. Like, sometimes you just get a kid, an adult who is incredibly skilled at something. A skilled hitter, skilled shooter, skilled passer, skilled with, like, you get it, right? And then other times you just get people who are unbelievably athletic. Some people are just good enough in life to get away with being so athletic until they get to the point where the athleticism goes away, which is a little bit like Westbrook. But what makes him unique is that second combination there. He was incredibly skilled at passing, playing defense. I know the Russell Westbrook nickname I did enjoy just because it bothered him and it was so simple and easy and dumb. But he was so incredibly skilled at those things I just mentioned, plus an incredible athleticism, right? Like, he's the first athlete I can remember in my time watching basketball and everything else where it's like he actually seriously could do it all. He could dunk, he could pass, he could score, he could shoot, he could dribble, he could pass. He could take over the game. And I remember, especially in the mid 2010s, you had a lot of discussions about Russell Westbrook where it's like he's got the ball in his hands playing for the Houston Rockets. And they're like, well, who can make the play? He should pass. Well, it's hard to tell a guy who's really good at passing, ask him if he can beat this guy one-on-one. And he can, and he won't, or he shouldn't, or he does. Because a lot of times he missed some big shots in his career. People are like, why isn't Westbrook passing? Well, Westbrook's mentality is like, I actually can beat this guy one-on-one. And he could. He was, can't we all one day hope in our lives it was such a burden to be too good of an athlete? But that's what he was. Like, he's still an incredible passer, incredible scorer, right? Incredible rebounder. He doesn't win an NBA championship, but that's it. Like, he is such an incredible athlete. And for people who don't like the NBA product now, that call people stat stuffers and the triple-double doesn't mean as much anymore, and it's too much about missed shots. Okay, you can point to Russell Westbrook and say, this guy, when he averaged a triple-double, has changed the NBA the last 10 years too. I always usually use that thing about Steph Curry. What's cool, it's true about Westbrook. Jokic is posting triple-doubles. LeBron's close to triple-doubles. Like, it was Big O was the only one who used to do that. Wasn't always the easiest guy to root for, like you said too. Like to run his mouth, thought he was better than he was. Probably point guard wise wasn't as what you always wanted, but man, was he an athlete.
So like, it's kind of cool to hear you say the point guard wise, not exactly what you used to, because like you grew up a little later than me, where point guards put a lot more point of their own points into, being point guard, where like when I was a kid, the point guard was a facilitator. The offense ran through the point guard. The point guard, especially if you had New York ties, you went out there and it was lockdown defense. Like, that's what you had to be known for. You didn't pick up your dribble. If a dude got you to pick up your dribble, you had to go do push-ups, and people would insult your masculinity. But now it's more, I think Jalen Brunson can be he's a little bit of a hybrid. He's a little bit of both. But a lot of point guards now, they're at worst your number 2 scoring option, at worst. So seeing Russell Westbrook, what he was, where he was unless Kevin Durant was on the team, he's usually your number one point scoring option. And even then, with that cupcake, thank you, Russell Westbrook, he was going to shoot. So again, just a different. I think if he played when I was a kid, we would mock him. Like we would mock his style of ball. He'd be a ball hog. He'd be all this other stuff. Carmelo Anthony-esque, you know. But I think where he played, it worked, and he was a hell of a player. And you know, as our former good friend Buster Olney says, can you tell the story in the NBA without Russell Westbrook? Not if you want it to be good. So let's so I'm good. Congratulations on a great career, Mr. Westbrook.
A lot more kids, a lot more point guards are going to play like Russell Westbrook in comparison to the players you said of the 80s and 90s of I'm just here dribbling really well and going to pass and not going to be an option on offense or shoot when I need to shoot. Nope. I want the ball in my hand. Don't even call me a guard. Just call me the best player on the floor. Positionless basketball. I'll beat a guy one-on-one. I'll get my own rebound. Yeah, definitely a guy who changed basketball. And never was a Knick. There was times he was rumored to be a Knick. It never
Everybody
worked
was
out
rumored
that
to be
way.
a Knick. You were rumored to be a Knick. I started the rumor.
What was it, 2008 to 2018? That was like a 10-year window of like every year, every off. Probably closer to 2020 because Zion and Kyrie were in that mix. Yeah, there was you hear that? 2026 Knicks fans? There was like an 11-year window that every time a free agent or rookie was available, will they be a Knick? And Westbrook was in there too.
I believe that. Well, I don't remember the trade package, but I remember there being a publicized package that was out there at one point where it looked like he was 100% coming through. And hell, we might have already been doing the show at one point when one of those things came through. And always been, I was right. Mark Jackson, you know, John Starks, like they can score, but they're going to facilitate the offense more than anything. So yeah. All right. Well, peace out, Westbrook. Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you.
We move on to story number 3 here involving Washington Commander quarterback Jayden Daniels. This is something that a lot of people have never seen in the history of being a fan in college sports.
Did you see we got a cease and desist?
I did not.
From Jayden Daniels. We can't call it the Big Cinco anymore. It's the Big 4+1. He owns the number 5. We have to call it the Big Jayden, or else we can't do it anymore.
Sorry, Jayden Daniels. I had no idea. We will call it the Big Jayden from now on.
And like literally, you can't say you have 5 fingers on one hand. You have to start saying 4 fingers and a thumb. You can't high five him in practice. It's you can only put 4 fingers up. Like he
stinks. And just to finish that update for those who did have no clue what Levac's talking about, an attorney representing Jayden Daniels has informed LSU, his former school, that they can no longer use Daniels' name, image, or likeness, according to the athletic director. Why? Well, Jayden Daniels is not happy that the Tigers are allowing sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett to wear the number 5 jersey that Daniels wore when he became the school's 3rd ever Heisman Trophy winner back in 2023. Well, the 5 will be the first time it's worn by somebody, but they didn't retire it. Daniels said in a statement, quote, "The Daniels family is deeply disappointed and feels profoundly disrespected by LSU's decision to give Jayden's number to another player. Jayden and his family had every reason to believe that his number would remain a meaningful part of the LSU legacy and be honored and protected in recognition of his extraordinary contributions to the university." Exactly as Levac was saying there. They wanted that thing to be retired. They wanted every Daniels jersey sold by LSU to make their money off of it. They didn't want to get repurposed because they believe because now it's not retired, they can't make money off it. By the way, the reason the DJ Pickett kid is wearing it is that Lane Kiffin was told he was promised he gets to wear it. Brian Kelly didn't want to deal with it when he was LSU, and he's
Brian
like, "Well,
Kelly's a turd." Can we just say Brian Kelly's a turd? Can we just because all right, so you gave
yes,
Jayden
I can
Daniels
get with
side.
that. Yes.
Okay, so the Jayden Daniels side of this is monetarily speaking and legacy speaking and whatever. Like you kind of gave like it. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Do you feel like Jayden Daniels and his camp are the bad guys in this story?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think they're the good guys in this story. However, I do kind of see a little bit of their point. Because the point is, like, we're going to let you hold our Heisman. We're going to let you keep using the name, image, and likeness for 180 days after graduation, but we're not going to say anything. You keep going. We'll let you keep going. So, because I read into some of the legalities of it, like oddly enough, in my new life as part of the AF1 and the Firebirds and maybe a weird run-in with a former NFL wide receiver, I spend a lot of time reading fine print. They're ticked because nobody's worn number 9. Another Heisman Trophy winner, another great player. You know what I mean? Nobody's wore Joe Burrow's number yet. Yeah, that was awesome. Come back in. Come on, Jordan. Join the
Somebody
show.
forgot we had a video camera now.
You're so much prettier when we get to see that you were able to bring Jordan into your life. Don't come all the way in. Come on.
She won't do it.
Oh, I love your wife. I love your wife. I absolutely love your wife. I think some of my best friends in my life, I like their wives more than I like them. I'm just gonna put it out there. No offense, guys, but that doesn't shock you. But like, so you're not gonna let anybody wear number 9, but you're gonna let somebody wear number 5. And Brian Kelly is such, how do I put this gently? Cuck. He's such a cuck that he knew this dude got promised the number 5. He knew it, and he didn't give it to him. And it sounds like all he did was go, listen, I know I'm out of here. I know they're going to fire me. I'm not stepping in this friggin' bee's nest. No way. Lane Kiffin came in and went, and like him or not, he made a decision based on promises made. Lane Kiffin has no loyalty to Jayden Daniels. And Jayden Daniels has no loyalty to Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin goes, this dude came here, played for this school, didn't transfer when I became his head coach, and he was promised this number. I'm going to give him this number. It's not retired. They only have 4 retired numbers. And by the way, any retired number at LSU after 2007 can still be worn on the field. How about that? How about that? So they could retire number 5, which is what they probably should have done. They should have done a ceremony for Jayden Daniels. They should have done a ceremony for Joe Burrow and then let people wear the damn numbers. But the fact that they haven't let Joe Burrow's number be worn and now they are letting Jayden Daniels' number be worn, I would feel a little disrespected. And not by Lane Kiffin. God bless Lane Kiffin. He's like, he just puts them on the table. All right. This is the promise that was made by my school. I'm going to let it happen. So overall, I think it comes off a little sensitive, but hey, I feel slighted by you. Oh, well, Joe Burrow won a championship. Joe Burrow won a Heisman. Joe Burrow, you transferred in from Arizona State. Joe Burrow transferred in from Ohio State. Like, if you're not going to hold me in the same esteem that you hold Joe Burrow in, bleep you. I'm taking my money. I'm taking my ball. I'm taking my jersey, and I'm taking my Heisman, and I'm going home. And by the way, it looks like LSU's not going to give him the Heisman back, by the way, just so we're clear. They've said they're not. They have no plans on giving the Heisman back. LSU, you know what? Lane Kiffin might be the biggest man at LSU. LSU, bunch of little girls. Bunch of little babes. Little bit. Actually, I'm sorry. That's rude to little girls. Little girls are tougher than LSU. LSU's management and academic staff and the head of their administration, bitches. I said it.
Hot take. I want that as the AI. Careful.
Came out my nose. Oh my God, that felt awesome. Actually, is that why people do nose candy?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Nose Pepsi.
Let me go back to Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin because I want you to do that Jayden Daniels stuff, but I want to start with Lane Kiffin on this one because you got to him too. There are people in our lives, I'm telling you, who love confrontation. Dave Portnoy is a more public figure. Says he loves confrontation. Some people don't. Some people love to prep and be organized and have a plan. Some people are fly on their seats type of people. I heard this a few years ago about Lane Kiffin. I thought, they were just like, a cliche thing. They'd joke around about it. Like, that's not really how he is. Somebody said Lane Kiffin flourishes in chaos. And I was like, yes, he loves this. He wants things to be chaotic. I wish I knew him personally. Like, I wish I do. But I'm almost positive this guy, all he wants is the most chaotic things to happen because he played, whether it's leaving the team during the playoff, whether it's the tarmac thing, whether it's this, whether it's portal, he loves it. He thrives in this stuff. So do I think Lane Kiffin made the right decision giving number 5 to the other guy? Yeah, I do. Hey, the kid was promised the number. It's not retired, like you said. I have no allegiance to Jayden Daniels. I don't have to clear this. I'm the head coach. He's the number, kid. Let's play. Let's go out there. As did Jayden Daniels. What are you doing? Like, what is this actual lawsuit? You don't win. You're not going to court. What is the end game here? The end game is they're not going to make a Jayden Daniels number 5 LSU jersey. You're in the NFL. You're not losing that much. You can't wait 5 years. What are you doing with your money? They can retire your number after this kid leaves. You have to sue them right now. Right now, you have to. What is the end game with Jayden Daniels besides attention getting brought to him? The level of ego I cannot even fathom or understand here, that not only do you need to honor me, you need to do it right now. I don't think he's losing out on that much money that fast as an NFL quarterback this quickly. And one other thing quickly about that Heisman. So the school gets a Heisman trophy and the player gets a Heisman trophy. But
okay.
But as somebody who's voted, and he probably maybe wants both, I don't know. But maybe that, I'm assuming that's still how they do it. They've done that for a while. But as somebody who voted for the Heisman Trophy that year, I can confidently tell you since 2015, he is the least deserving of any of the winners since I voted in 2015.
That's a hot take.
He did not deserve that award.
Let's circle back to that because that's a whole nother conversation. Because I want to rebut some of the things you just said, but I definitely what you just said. I know you're a big fan of the hot take Tommy, but I don't feel like that was a hot take from you. I feel like that's a God's honest belief from you. So we're gonna get into that. I don't think this is about money. I think this is about disrespect. I think he feels disrespected. And you have been through something closer to this than most people. Because when we left various methods in which we left our first go round together as co-hosts, you attempted to leave on a high ground level. You attempted to just kind of be like, hey, they had their thing. I'm going to go do my thing. And they didn't like the way you said it. And they came for you with both barrels. And it went from what could have been a respectful parting of the ways to a disrespectful parting of the ways. And you and I have already been over the fact that, like, I would have handled it different than you did, but I can understand why you handled it the way you did. I think you need to look at Jayden Daniels right now the way you looked at Tom Gostlowski III back in, hell, I don't remember what year that was. Was that 20? Was that 21?
21.
21. I think you got to realize, like, this isn't about money. This isn't about, a kumbaya moment. This is about disrespect. If somebody was out there in a number 9 right now, I don't think this conversation's happening. But the fact that 9 still has not been touched, and that was 2018, 2019, and mine's only a couple years old, and somebody's already out there in a number 5, I'm pissed. Like, why is Joe Burrow better than me? And I know you have a laundry list of reasons for that. But, I came to your program. I won a Heisman with your program. I had 42 passing touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns. I think I combined for like 5,000 plus yards. Like, I had an amazing year. I did. And I was arguably the top pick in the draft. It didn't go that way. If you're going to put my number on somebody's back, then you don't respect my number and you don't deserve my number. So that number 5 is now CJ Pickett. It's Pickett's number now. Number 5 is Pickett's number. So you take Jayden Daniels off your wall. You do all this. The Heisman thing, I didn't know they both got one. That's hysterical. So USD still somewhere has an O.J. Simpson Heisman. That's monumental to me knowing that. Reggie Bush can go check out his Heisman at USC that he just finally got back. But, like, I think this is more about disrespect than money. And I think I think when you retrace the way you have been disrespected by former employers, I think if you put yourself in those cleats, you would be like, you know what? Don't love the way he did it. Don't like what he's doing, but I can understand why he's ticked off.
You know what? I didn't know where you were going to go with that. And initially you said, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I agree with him. And the more and more you talked, the more and more I agreed with you. Because I just would have framed it a little bit differently.
Tossing the word salad.
I like it. But I think the only thing I'll alter, and I'm really kind of nitpicking, but I understand it better thinking of it like this. Jayden Daniels in the world of NIL, name, image, and likeness, the world in social media, the world in public perception is controlling his public perception. Hey, that's the way LSU views me now. Right. They don't view me on the same level as Joe Burrow or Cannon or all these other greats. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, I should be viewed that way. And you can call that arrogant. You can call that cocky. You can criticize me. But here's what my resume looks like, and here's everybody else's. So if you don't want to,
actions have repercussions. Like that, if you don't think I'm special, stop cashing checks on my name. That's the deal. If you don't,
go ahead.
No, if you think that 5, I didn't make 5 important, and the kid's a stud defensive back, by the way. He's gonna be super exciting this year. He had a great year last year. You think you think he's important enough to jeopardize our relationship? Our relationship is dead. I want it deaded. I don't want, I'm going to go to Arizona State and I'm going to put on my number 5 and I'm going to let them sell the jerseys. And as a matter of fact, I would like my Heisman brought there, if you don't mind, please. Like, they respect me still, and I left them. So, like, I think it's a squabble. This is, you know what this is? And it's really not, because we already have both kind of soured on the way LSU handles business. This is when friends break up and you're like, oh, man, Tom's got a boat. Jordan's a sweetheart. I don't want to lose the boat. I don't want to be mean to Jordan. Like, I don't want to choose a side. LSU's got a boat. Jayden Daniels is a hell of a player. Like, it's just I think this is, it's just fun to watch. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's hysterical to watch.
Oh, there's so many different angles on this, and just back to making it about myself here on the Levack and Goz show, real quick to hear. But
I made it about you. Roll with it, yeah.
right. It's, hey, we let Goz go because of Goz. Oh, you did, huh? Well, here's what happened. So you're going to tell, oh, you're not going to retire my number. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do then, because here's why it should be, and here's the truth of what happened. And if I'm saying anything that's not true, tell me what I said that wasn't true. And that's what Jayden Daniels just did. See, I'm viewing this differently now. I still think there's I was going to say there's a difference between me and Jayden Daniels in the sense that he's protecting his legacy and telling the truth. Gosh, there's a lot of comparisons between how that entity is, man. That is very similar. Yeah, it really is.
And in this analogy, I'm the 5 in the Heisman Trophy, because if they hadn't done that to you, I would have renewed another contract. But you let Goz go. I worked out my contract. Met some Dan Ball. I think he's a great kid. I liked working with him for a short window. Charlie Volker and I had some fun together. But I knew all along I was not signing another contract. And if I was, it was going to have to be mammoth. It was going to have to.
Everybody's got a price.
It was going to have to be one of those contracts that I would have called Goz and went, yo, they put the comma here. And you would have been like, dude, beer's on you.
Do you still want the Jayden Daniels Heisman?
Yes. Why? How is he the least deserving Heisman that you vote that you have been part of voting for the Heisman winner?
I could not believe that year. I really, even thinking back, I got my reasons. I actually just pulled up my ballot here of why he was getting so much hype that year. Now, look, he's in the SEC, he's at LSU, but that year included Michael Penix, who I believe should have won that year. That included Bo Nix. Those Washington.
He would have got hurt carrying the trophy. So
those games were awesome. Washington did play the title game that year. They lost to Michigan, right? It was a Michigan. Yeah,
I was wearing the shirt yesterday. Damn it.
That was a great title game. I'm going to quickly quote myself here. Quote, I'm surprised by the national buzz around Daniels' Heisman campaign and comparing his numbers and performances in big games. How is his candidacy different than non-Heisman winners, including Graham Harrell in 2008, Jordan Lynch in 2013, and the late Dwayne Haskins in 2018? Manziel and Lamar Jackson, blah, 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 blah. Most voters will focus on Daniels' game against a 5-7 Florida team as his breakout performance. In that game, 20% of Daniels' total season yardage came in one game. 12% of Daniels' total rushing yards the entire season came on 2 plays in that game. 35% of Daniels' season yardage and his Heisman total 35% of Daniels' season total yardage in his Heisman season came against Florida, 5-7, Grambling State, Army, and Georgia State. 28% of Daniels' rushing yards came on 6 plays.
Who should have won it?
Penix.
Penix. Really? I can't.
The LSU,
and again, I have history on my side now. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that like their pro career means nothing or whatever, but like, yeah, I'm all right with Penix not getting it.
Also, Daniels' team that year played one team that finished with a record above 500. They defeated that team, Texas A&M, but A&M was led by an interim coach in that game. That's incredible. Wow. Yeah, I'll stick by my ballot. Yes, you're right. As time has passed on, he's been fantastic. And yes, those are two different arguments. Should somebody win the Heisman? Will they be a better pro? Will they be good? All that stuff is all different. But yeah, that is you know what? One quick other thing before we move on to some NFL stuff tonight. I actually don't think he's going to be the last one to do that. I think in similar fashion, we just talked about Russell Westbrook, like the style in which he played and everything else. He will now set a precedent for other players to potentially be like, look, name, image, and likeness, this stuff is meaningful. This stuff, I can control my brand. I'm not going to let somebody else control my brand because that's how some athletes grew up with it. They got to decide how things went down. And it's a perfect segue into NFL quarterbacking, branding, Heisman trophies, and all those other things.
That was a terrible Heisman class.
Well,
Jayden Daniels, Penix, Bo Nix, Marvin Harris. Jr.
Those are all good players. They're all in the NFL.
Terrible.
The thing that's the fact that Bo
Nix was 75 years old. He actually met the original Heisman. Like he was there.
I believe all three of them were Nix, Daniels, and Penix were all 5- and 6-year players. They were old. That was that class.
Yep. But Bo Nix looked up there.
Yeah, he did. He had some wine. I still remember that press conference. Yeah, I'm on my 7th different offensive coordinator in 7 years. Fernando Mendoza makes his Raider debut tonight. A bunch of games. We're going to get to that to close out the show. But first, let's focus it on your Raiders and Mendoza. Levac, you did not buy the T-shirt jersey like I was hoping you to do for Fernando Mendoza. What are your expectations, whether it's tonight or later in the preseason, for your Raiders and Mendoza? But let's at least tonight. Is he going to play? Is he scheduled to play? What's going on?
Yeah, no, he's playing. It's him versus Jacoby Brissett because Carson Beck hurt himself a little bit. He's a little banged up. But yeah, they said Mendoza might get quote plenty of reps. I'm fired up. My friend Selena is there. She's like, make sure your phone's on because I'm buying something for you. I'm like, yeah, my phone will definitely be on for stuff. Come on now. But I'm excited. Like I always get excited about the first preseason game for the Raiders just because how it's just as meaningful as late regular season games for us usually. But like to see Mendoza out there, to see Kubiak's offense, all we've heard is just how much Mendoza has been working. You know what I mean? Like he's out there. He wasn't at a lot of draft stuff because he was busy learning the Raiders playbook. And I've seen guys from NFL Network. I can't think of the former Seahawks running back. His name escapes me right now. But
Michael Robinson.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you. Michael Robinson said originally he goes, I went to Raiders training camp saying Kirk Cousins. Not even sure if I liked Fernando Mendoza as an NFL quarterback. Watched him at camp and went, Fernando Mendoza needs to start the season. He carries himself like a pro. I don't think he will start the season, but I think you'll see if he can't win the starting job tonight, but he can definitely win another audition towards the starting job. I think it's going to be pretty exciting for the future of the Raiders. And if I'm not mistaken, top of my head on DraftKings, the over-under is 42.5 for tonight. So that's an insult to your defenses, but it's a compliment to your quarterbacks. So I think that's DraftKings saying we expect the Raiders to try to score every time Fernando Mendoza's on the field. Like not like, oh, let's see how this play works. No, let's get started with the confidence for number 15.
This is absolutely the best story of tonight's matchups. I know we're going to talk about a bunch more, but this is the best one. How he plays, the focus on him. Is he good? Like every number one pick obviously is under pressure, but the fact that it's a preseason game and people want to know. Now, look, if he sucks tonight, okay, it's the rookies first. Welcome to the NFL stuff, all that, and people will evaluate and they go forward and everything else. But this should be where all the eyes are on the NFL because of all the hype that's around, because of what Indiana football did last year, because your Raiders want to get back to being good. They've gone to the postseason twice, I think, since that Super Bowl appearance. And Carr was hurt in one of those games when he was on pace for an MVP season.
So bad.
So the fans, and it's Vegas, like they haven't been to the postseason since they've been in Vegas. So there's a lot on that game today. I hope he plays well.
You're incorrect. They were at the postseason once, but they had to watch the Chiefs win on their field.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
I hope he does well. I do enjoy the internet clips of how Fernando Mendoza is handling the Vegas trip. Is that a real quote that's been posted today? Something about like having to like cover his eyes when he's on the Vegas Strip. I don't even want to touch it if it's out there and it's real. I also don't think it's real.
I don't think he's like
my eyes.
I think he's that guy who knows what is expected of him. As our buddy Derek Brown used to say all the time, your quarterback is CEO of a multi-million-dollar franchise, multi-billion-dollar franchise. So like I think he knows what's expected of him. I don't think he's half the goober you think he is. Like I think he is. I think he's definitely got goober tendencies. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's. I think that dude is out there. You know, he playing some blackjack. He doing some things. You know, after the playbook's done. You know,
he's still a 21, 22-year-old kid doing his thing, wanting to be. Yeah. The quote, by the way, from your guy Mike Silver. Few people will get that reference, except you and I. Your guy, Mike Silver, says this about Mendoza, according to Underdog. Quote, it's like when you're a kid, you're trick-or-treating, and there's the haunted house. You're not trying to go over there. In reference to the Vegas Strip.
I kind of believe that. I kind of
I butchered it at the start, but the face he's making, too, is so dorky in the image they used.
You know, to be perfectly honest with you, like, let's make it local, right? I know who went down to Rivers from Landing's Hotel this year, and I know who didn't. You know what I mean? Like it's Kenny Stabler is most known for. I wasn't out drinking. I was studying the playbook by the jukebox lights. That's a Raider mentality. But look where Raider mentality has got us to in recent history. Like there's players that were on the Firebirds who very early in the season learned time and a place. You know, you want after the game. Following Sunday, if it's a light work Monday, that's when you go down and enjoy Rivers Casino. Friday night, go to your freaking room. You know, and right now Fernando Mendoza is in a workplace where he needs to focus. He needs to be ready. He needs to know all the plays. He needs to know all the checkdowns. He needs, the wide receiver core is still it's better than it was last year, but it's suspect. Like he needs to go into this year knowing everything. It is not the time to be, recognized at the Tropicana as a regular.
Please, I'll say it for Raider fans please, just listen to the playbook. Yeah. Embrace the idea that you're different than being a Raider. I think that is the storyline. There is something cool that you said this is before he was drafted. Like, we're good. A good quarterback's fine. Whether he's going to church or not, whether he's got tattoos or how about just some wins? That's it. Just a couple of wins here and there.
Well, you were trying to get Diego Pavia on the Raiders. I was like, this Fernando Mendoza, reading the Bible versus the shot menu and at the the private service tables. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. Thanks. Go shopping at Walmart and Target with Kirk Cousins, and I'll be okay with it. I'm good with it. Thank you.
So these keeper dynasty leagues that people are in for fantasy football, getting ready to draft, if you're in a 2 QB league. So I was like, just looking around, like, I wonder where Mendoza's going to go. It's harder because he hasn't been technically named the starter yet, right? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get out of the iHeart League. Like I can't play this year in the iHeart League. And I was like, I was too dumb to figure out how to get out. So I'm back in. So I'm in the iHeart League this year. Yeah. I can't figure out how to get out of it. So now that means I'm going to have to win it.
100%. I think we come in 1-2. We play the championship game.
Perfect. And I say, I'm out of here. Throw me out. Other preseason games of note include
when is that? Do we know when that draft is, by the way? I don't even
know. I didn't see.
I'll have to look because it keeps yelling at me to tell my commissioner to get the draft ready. I'm like, I don't see him every day like I used to.
I was gonna say, not a lot of people in that league still work for iHeart.
You doing the pick and pull from the Hideaway?
No,
I just signed up for that.
No, I can't.
Why not?
I didn't do it the last 2 years. Here's my problem.
Need your money.
Here's the problem with the pick and pull for the Hideaway.
You suck.
I love everybody over there. I did it. The last time I did it with you might have been 3 years ago. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I forget to put my picks in, and it cost me 1 year. That's on me. I know my strengths, and I know my. I will forget
reminder in your phone.
I will forget. How much?
I do.
Send me the link. Maybe I will.
All right.
I'm doing a lot this year. Need a waste of. All right.
I don't know how many I'm doing this year. I haven't signed up for the one we do yet. I'm going to. I haven't yet.
Payday's coming up from Roundtable Sports, and then I start sending my August things going on.
Payday you speak of. Payday.
The Packers go to the Steelers. Rodgers talked about if he'll ever return to Lambeau. He said he needed an invite for that, talking about the legacy of his time in Green Bay. Lions, Bengals, Colts, Patriots, Chargers, Texans, Titans, 49ers. Levac, does anything else jump out to you? A storyline, a team, a game in tonight's Thursday night football action in the NFL?
The annoyance that is the Aaron Rodgers era is just fever pitch. Like, he's making it sound like McCarthy said he's going to play. McCarthy's telling everybody he begged if he could play. Then he's saying it's not even real football. I just like all the good storylines for the Raiders game are the bad storylines for the Steelers and the Packers, and the rest of them is just I'll do the highlight package on the NFL Plus. That's what I'll do. But I think the teams that are going to play some starters, I'll watch. But it's so hard to even decide if who you're going to see, what you're going to see. Like, I'll be looking for like some early draft picks. I'll be floating around a little bit, but my eyes will be glued to maybe the only time this whole year that somebody's eyes will be glued to either a Raiders or a Cardinals game, but mine will be glued to it.
If I had to pick anything else, not including Raiders, Cardinals, my pick would be Colts, Patriots for a couple of reasons. One, on the Patriots side,
to see if she's there.
See, I was going to get to the Vrabel Rossini thing just because, like, how often, this is me as a media broadcaster loving this stuff. Like, do they bring it up in the broadcast? Do they even mention it? Anytime something goes poorly, is Vrabel going to be criticized for that? There was a serious conversation a few months ago that people thought he was just going to leave. Like, he's going to step away, and I don't know what he's going to do, but like, he's not going to be a part of the. Remember, that was a big debate. He should step away and deal with his personal issues before he's back. He's coaching the team. So
he said he would cut his wiener off to win a Super Bowl. You think he's going to quit?
No, I never thought that. I did not.
Right.
But other soft media people did. I'm curious how people cover the Patriots during the game tonight. And on the opposite side of that, the Colts, Anthony Richardson Sr. is scheduled to be the starter tonight for the Colts. He is still only 24 years old. Here's the thing about Richardson. Do I think the Patriots are going to trot out a good team tonight? No, I don't. So if you're telling me the Patriots got some fourth or fifth stringers out there, I believe Richardson could be really good. Like, tomorrow, when we talk about highlights of, and highlights an interesting term, but seriously, like, if we talk about what made the biggest impression on Thursday night, I could see Anthony Richardson taking one for 60 yards to the house. I could see Richardson putting up some big yard. And you're like, oh my gosh. And you know who wants it the worst is the Colts, because they don't want him as their quarterback. Nope. They want Daniel Jones. They'll take Riley Leonard. They don't want Anthony Richardson anymore. It's all over. But if he plays well enough in the preseason, or the Colts put every highlight they can find of this guy on social media and sells him to somebody else, that's where he's going. So he is an interesting player. He was good, very good at Florida. Probably got picked too high in the draft. Probably I'm being a little soft. He did get picked too high in the NFL draft because he played a few good games in the SEC. But he has the I walk in a room scenario. You're 6'5", you're 240, can run and fast. And you just hope at one point he can figure it out. So that's my storyline I'm launching. If Anthony Richardson is good tonight, is he going to be the talk of the preseason? My gosh, pick a quarterback, right? Teddy Bridgewater's one. Nathan Peterman's one. There's always a quarterback or two that is unbelievably good in the preseason. and people wonder if he's going to take their job or. Gosh, who was? Oh, O'Connell. O'Connell was really good for your Raiders 2 years ago. So there are quarterbacks who do have a breakout preseason, and it impacts their career going forward. It could be him tonight.
I think this is an Aiden O'Connell right here. This is an Aiden O'Connell right here. I will sell it to you cheap. It's covered in dust. I've got an Aiden O'Connell mini helmet for you. Back when he wore 4.
He was another one of those 6-7 year players in college and got to the pros and was old.
Well, he got honorable mention from Kubiak. Like Kubiak, said, like, I want Kirk, I want Fernando, I want Aiden. I want them to ball out. I want them to fight for the starting job. Like, this isn't like no one is coming into camp as a starter of this team. I think Aiden O'Connell will be one of those guys that he won't, like, the Raiders will kick him at some point this year when they know Mendoza's ready to go and that Kirk Cousins is good and everything like that. And then he'll go to like Justin Herbert will get hurt. He'll play a 3-game window for the Chargers and he'll just light it up. And we'll all be like, oh my God. And then he'll get paid by like San Francisco to be a backup. And, that'll be that. That'll be the end of it. But he's got a little Matt Flynn to him in my mind.
That's probably right. I'm a little bummed. Sorry, I just saw something on my phone. I was all excited that thought I was gonna get St. John's Syracuse. I was hoping that game was gonna be in December in New York City. I was like, I could do the double. I could get St. John's Syracuse in the Garden, and then do the Heisman stuff. And they just announced it for November 15th.
You've been putting the miles on. You'll be fine. You're right. You're used to it. The road warrior, Tom Kaslowski.
Oh, that's all right. Fine. Yeah. All right. I would have liked to double dip that day, but bigger problems in life. All right, that's it. Friday edition coming up tomorrow. We close out.
You didn't ask about Flock. Flock you. You didn't. I thought you'd ask about Flock.
Oh, I did not ask about Flock.
You didn't ask about Flock you.
Let's put a bow on the season.
Flock
you recap.
I thought.
What are your thoughts on Flock you from last night, the season finale?
Yeah, nothing happened. No, it was cool. You know what? There's this great like breakdown from Coach Ware's mind on especially that last like 57 seconds and how it happened and everything. I literally he's just running through the game, and I go, no, hold on. I go, all of you who had something to say about this online, I want you to listen now, because this is what happened. This was a chess match between the two best coaches in arena football. And now you're about to hear one of them explain exactly what happened for him, what happened against him, and he explains the whole thing. And I did stop him. I was like, how proud were you of former Firebird DJ Walden when he like olayed out of the way trying to get Sam Cashnova to score with like 20 seconds left on the clock? He goes, he's a smart player. It was a smart play. So yeah, that was the best part. We had burgers, Herbie's Burgers in Clifton Park. It was great. And it was a good time. The fans were great, and the Klugos, Jess and Dan, they took pity on me. They gave me a gigantic Flock support bag. It's a full Under Armour gym bag with everything from C4 to beef jerky to whatever. Like I was joking. I was like, as an unemployed human, this is going to I can sustain myself for a good couple weeks on this bag. So it was awesome. Flock support always coming through. But yeah, so we'll take a little break. We'll be back. We'll probably do one next month, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it was good. If you want a good breakdown of the game from someone who actually understands football, not your drunk buddy going, "Why would you want to kind of kick there?" Like, listen to yesterday's Flock you.
Has he heard the broadcast yet, Coach Ware?
He said he watched the fourth quarter 10 times already.
Did he comment on the broadcaster?
No. Okay. No, not to me at least.
Sure. Okay, all right.
Yeah, they're stupid. Like, there's Okay. Listen, everybody knows those who can't do teach, right? So those who can't do talk about it. So that's what it comes down to.
My curiosity was like, if Coach Ware is not only upset about the loss, but also upset about this guy not knowing, that's like the double.
He made a point. Like he's not, like, obviously he's not happy that we lost, but he has so much respect for Darren Arbette that he's not upset. Like, he's like, yeah, it sucks. I wish we had won, but I have so much respect for Coach Arbette and what he's doing and all that. And And he's like, and I look at it and he's like, Sam made the right call to try and throw it, and Dwayne Brown could have caught it, but he didn't. And maybe so-and-so was offsides for the Cats like he was. But it was just like, he's replaying in his brain over and over. But this, I can only compare this to 2024, when we lost the brawl at the mall, and he was livid after that. Like you could see, and it's not that he doesn't respect and love Cedric Walker. That's one of his peers. That's, part of the fraternity of coaching. It was just, he felt like we didn't do what we needed to do to win that game, where the crown could have come down to either team easily, like either way. Like, so he kept saying just 6 more inches. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what I would give for 6 more inches. And he was like, this is why we can't go places. But no, it was a good flock you, especially like you said. He's so respectful of our bat. Those two have so much respect for each other. And when you see them talk to each other, it's like, it's really one of those cool moments where you see two people who just know each other, respect each other. It's kind of like the two Bills when they finally get Parcells and Belichick together, and it's not animosity. It's just like, hey, I completely respect your knowledge of coaching. Hey, I completely respect your knowledge of coaching. Hey, let's just talk about coaching. Like, that's what those two are like.
Because of how the calendar fell this year with AF1, is Coach going to be done for a while? Is he doing stuff with Hudson Valley? Because I know in the past you guys did a show at Hudson Valley in the fall, but the calendar is different because the season just ended, and I'm assuming those players are in camp right now. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I told him, we were talking about just how exhausted we both were, and I'm like, dude, if I'm this tired, how tired are you? Like, because if you think about it, he hasn't had a day off, like maybe a week, since the beginning of 23. Because the beginning of 23, he was the OC, and then by the time everything got rolling, he was the head coach. Then the day the bus ride from hell, where he ends up leaving Albany and going down to Orlando as their offensive coordinator. And then as soon as that was done, he got in his truck and he drove up here and started building the 2024 Firebirds. That season ends. He starts coaching with Hudson Valley. Then he goes right from that to the Birds, and then he goes right from that to Hudson Valley, from that to the Birds. Like, I would be, if I was asked, and I wasn't asked, as a friend, I would be like, maybe a consultant to Hudson Valley. Maybe I know he's been a part of coaching these kids, and he doesn't want to walk away from them, but maybe it's one of those where you just go, hey, Jordan Gooch, you're now the offensive coordinator, and you lean on me for what you need, but don't do it for 2 weeks because I need to go breathe. Like, that's if I was asked, that's what I would recommend, but I wasn't asked.
Call us if you want advice, Coach. I know.
Yeah, whatever you need.
But
I'll tell you what to do. I'll tell you all the things. So yeah, good flock you last night. All right, it's what I don't know. You were just talking about all these places you're going. How are you getting there, guys?
Thanks to the great people at Mohawk Honda. It's Mohawk Honda where they always go out of their way to please you. I'm getting there via my beautiful Pilot. We've already locked in our September show, mark it on your calendars. Man, I love you people who listen to the show. You're already asking when you guys are out live again. September 14th. I will tell you the date. We are back in Glenville, New York, September 14th. We're hoping to have more live shows before that, but we're going to say September 14th. We will be live again at Mohawk Honda in Glenville, New York. Shout out to Greg Johnson, Lindsay Harrod, and the entire crew over there. Wonderful people. The Odyssey is my wife's vehicle. She wrapped up summer school today. She's been working this summer. So she is done. She's excited. She's got summer vacation part 2 coming up. I had 3 kids. I went to the zoo today in the Pilot, and we had a soaked Pop Warner practice yesterday. People are like, should they cancel it? Should they not? I felt like I was in a commercial there. Here come the soaking kids from football practice into the wonderful Pilot. But I love my ride. Everyone's vehicles are a little bit different for the lifestyle they're living. It's Mohawk Honda, where they'll always go out of their way to please you.
Very cool, guys. Corbin Greenwich hit me up and said he heard we were going to be live at the Hideaway. Can we talk about that? Or
we can. Yes, let's do it.
Right.
September 18th. September 18th, we will be live at the Hideaway. Yes, live show. 8 a.m. is what we have listed. That could be changing because of weather and everything else, but projected 8 a.m. start for us on that day, unless weather plays a factor. Thanks to the great people at the Ronald McDonald House and the Hideaway, we will be back for that tournament this year. This will be our 3rd year doing it. There's a very funny picture of you and John Danielle with that monster Bloody Mary from last year. But we love everybody.
That better be ready. That better be ready. John, get it ready. Come on, JD. Let's go. Put the Miller Lite down. Make me my Bloody Mary.
Thursday, September 18th, 2026. I want to make sure that's correct. It is Thursday, September. Oh gosh, I hope I didn't tell them the 18th. Whatever that Thursday is in September. Look at me catching myself mid-read there, making sure the date was correct. Thursday, September 17th, exactly like I just said.
Just what you said. As 100%.
17th. I'll edit that out. Hopefully that's not on the. It's the Ronald McDonald event, the 17th of September.
Very excited. Very excited. All right, listen, I've had enough of you. So, guys, since your kids come through the door 16 times, your wife's looking for you, and my cat won't shut up, please hit that frickin' button.